My Lord, Honorable Justice Wednesday, Justice of the Supreme Court. My Lord, Honorable Justice Edward Oga, Judge of Court of Gambia. President, Catholic Lawyers Association, discussants, the lawyers here present, the media, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on the rest existing protocol. It's quite amazing for a Reverend Father to stand before erudite scholars, not just scholars, erudite lawyers, to talk on current security challenges, elections 2019, and justice dispensation. Before I begin, I would like to thank the National Association of Catholic Lawyers, Abuja chapter, to invite me as a guest lecturer to present this topic. One day, the sage, philosopher, Socrates, was walking on his garden, was strolling. And a young man ran up to him and said, "Well, sage, at what age do I begin to teach my child wisdom?" And Socrates responded, "How old is your child?" He said, 6. And Socrates said, "You are 7 years late already." In other words, the formation of a child, the training of a child, character formation starts, is even when the child is in the womb. I'd like to put it to you this evening that no one is born a criminal. No one is born a terrorist. Criminals are made, not born. The child builds on what the parent planted in him or her, either by commission or omission from birth. And this is further enhanced by a failing society, bad company, and lack of jobs for the youth after graduation. An idle mind, is the devil's workshop. Hence, some criminals today include graduates and jobless professionals. The Bible is very clear on this parental role. "I have chosen him that he may command his children." Genesis chapter 18, verse 19. In wisdom literature of the Old Testament, the sages have this to say: train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. I do not intend to teach lawyers the constitutional provisions of parenting here. I will not venture into citing the sections and subsections, but just enough to say that the Nigeria Constitution takes adequate care of the obligations of the parent and the rights of the child. In brief, the child has the constitutional rights to survival, care and development, right to parental care, protection, maintenance and education are well articulated in the Nigeria Constitution. So you can look for yourself the section and the subsection where that is. Some time ago, Bishop Kuka presented a book which was published by Nisio. And the title of the book was Boko Haram, Some Reflections on Causes and Effects. I find in this presentation a corpus that points to the shore of our inquiry, and I titled this in my book, Dialogue in Context, If This Song Never Exists. Those of you who can speak Hausa, you must have heard of this. I don't intend to sing it, but ya mokarata buku, ba karatu ba sala, ba bihaya ala, saya ya zagi malam. It was a song that people were singing just to say that Western education was not necessary. You don't need education, you don't need Western education. And when you look at the North today, you discover that that affected the children in a way that today we can still think that somehow the terrorists are still singing this song. And that is why they attack schools and all that have to do with Western civilization. And that is one of the bedrock of the terrorism we have in this country today. The current security challenges. In a society where intelligence, professionalism, and merit do not count, might is perceived to be right. The powerful always search for poor illiterates and jobless youth to play the role of useful idiots and willing tools to grab power. And you agree with me that the root of the terrorist activities we have today was the thuggery in the Borno State. What started as political thugs has translated today into a kind of international terrorist outfit. As you listen to judgment in our court every day, you see that some criminals are still testify to the fact that they were boys, thugs to some eminent politicians who armed them, gave them guns to win the election, to do electoral malpractices, and after they win these elections, they forget to collect the guns from them. And at the end of the day, when the money is not coming the way it should, these guys go into robbery. There is a case in hand now which you know better than me. People say, "Uni has asshole, they are no." And you know, the mama get over here and my leprosy the chopper. So what is enough for the wise? Now, what do we do in this kind of circumstances? If you go back to our newspapers, especially the report by Hamza Idris and Yahya Ibrahim on Sunday, 27 January 2013, where the Sheikh of Borno was quoted as appealing to the fleeing subject to return to Maiduguri. And the Sheikh of Borno said that in those days, when visitors come to your place, they first of all come and report to the elders or the highness. Then you now know that there are visitors in your domain. Sometimes you take record of them. You know why they have come, whether they have come to stay or not. And whether you like it or not, you discover that in our various communities, at least where I come from, in Edo State, man no man, you know who is a good boy. You know who the boys that are stealing. We have different age grades. We have machinery put in place to make sure that whoever is a criminal, that person will be brought to book. That time, the traditional institutions were so strong, such that even if police, of course in the first place, it was an abomination for you to bring in police to the village. Still remember when somebody arrested a young man in my village because the man was sent on an errand to do a town crime by the elders, and he was arrested by the chief. So the chiefs, the four elders, they went to the police station and told the police, please open cell for us, we want to enter. Ha! These are men of 80, 90 years. The police said, no, we can't put you in cell. So the chief heard that the elders have gone to the police station. And he went there immediately. And he said, you have arrested us. He said, no, I didn't know you sent them. He said, okay, chief, if you want us to live here, remove us from this cell with a boat. And that was done immediately. Because whether you like it or not, our people still fear traditional justice. There's this little story in Benin. They stole the pastor's money. And the pastor had shouted and shouted and shouted, use Bible to cause nothing. So one day he brought in Ogo and the Moku to the church. And he said, who stole my money, Ogo Agboa? The doctor said again, I'll give the money. I'm not trying to explain traditional, shrines and other things here. But I'm trying to say here that our people still have fear for traditional institutions. So I'm proposing in this paper that somehow we can enshrine into our constitution the role of traditional rulers. They can also help us to fish out who are the criminals. If, for example, when Boko Haram started in Borno, the traditional rulers saw these people carrying guns, killing people, they could easily say no. And when the police will surrender these boys who are potential criminals to the police. And of course, we may argue that even some traditional rulers can misbehave sometimes. But I want to assure you today that some of them, they still fear traditional justice. They still fear the wrath of the ancestors and the deities. Alexander the X, who was the ancient Greek king of Macedon, around 323 BC, was known as Alexander the Great. Not because of the power he wielded over his subjects, was not protected by his helmet of bronze, but by the fact that he was buried in the heart of his people. So he was respected because of his integrity. When I was sitting down, our chief judge was telling me, oh, something I've caught my attention in a book, what my father taught me. My father taught me integrity. And this is what life should be. Now, talking about why do people do the things they do? Why is it that somebody will kill you? It doesn't say anything wrong with it. In those days, it was never heard of in our traditional institution that a snake beats a baby. Those days, when a baby is in the farm, lying down, even a poor father, this big slave, they call around the baby, they protect the child. But today, what is happening? A herdsman or a terrorist will open the stomach of a pregnant woman and kill the fetus and the baby in the womb. That shows something I'm doing wrong. And this is why I brought in here formation of conscience. How do you form true conscience? There are different types of conscience, and of course, according, theologically, the conscience is the voice of God. So we have right conscience, right or true conscience. You have erroneous conscience. You have certain conscience. And you have doubtful conscience, tender conscience, lapsed conscience, Pharisaic conscience, dead conscience. So when somebody is telling you in court, my conscience is clear, does that prove a case? In fact, not, because in law, you cannot, if you have committed a crime, the lawyer will want to find out, were you influenced internally or externally? What happened? Were you other doers? Did you do this thing with full intention? And then, the law will take its course. So, we go on. Failure to sustain national unity and security. Many people have indicated the need for a national sovereign conference to reassess the Civil War jingle. To keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. And the proceedings, I will call proceedings, or the events that led to the Nigerian Civil War. Why was it that the conference to bring about national unity was not held in Nigeria, not in Lagos, not in Abuja, not in Kano, not in Benin City, but in Aburi, in Ghana? And recently, there was a time they said they want to go to Saudi Arabia to negotiate with the terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists. But the point here is that we should really sit down to ask ourselves whatever is going on. In Parrot newspaper, October 12, 1960, Sir Ahmadu Bello is reported to have said, the new nation called Nigeria should be an exit of our great-grandfather Ottoman and Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities in the north as ruling tools and the south as a conquered territory. I've never allowed them to rule over us. I've never allowed them to have control over their future. In December 1964, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe is reported to have said, I have one advice to give our politicians. If they have decided to destroy our national unity, then they should summon a round table conference to decide how our national assets should be divided before they seal their doom by satisfying their lust for office. I make this objection because it is better for us and many admirers abroad that we should disintegrate in peace and not in pieces. Obafemi Awolowo, in his path to Nigerian freedom and favor, London in 1947, stated that Nigeria is not a nation, it is a mere geographical expression. On June 13, 2011, some media reported that Chief Ayo Okpadoko joined President Goodluck Jonathan to provoke a sovereign national conference. But the question is, what have we done with all the conferences, even the recent one? Have we implemented the reports and the findings? But what is happening is that many Nigerians have sold their heads to buy a cap. If you sell your head to buy cap, where will you put the cap? Therefore, some Nigerians of today need mental engineering and reconstruction of attitude to life. Some past leaders and elders in Nigeria have turned themselves into untouchables, evildoers who devour the citizens as if they were eating bread. Psalm 53 verse 4. And why is it that many Nigerians today are militant? Is it just because we have had a lot of military regime? To the extent that even the civilians who were never soldiers are still militant. It's like our mind has been colonized to be violent, such that civilians who should not have access to weapons buy guns for thugs. And of course we talk about religious intolerance. And in my book I titled this, What the Gun Cannot Kill. The soldiers have been fighting the terrorists, but to what extent have they gone? We have to know that the terrorists have an ideology. That ideology is what needs to be confronted. First of all, by radicalizing the terrorists. This thing started like a very small game. But today, the terrorists in Nigeria have pledged allegiance to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And I heard on television yesterday that now they are trying to strengthen our borders because ISIS, they are trying to come into the country. But we pray they don't have access anyway. Election 2019. In preparing for the 2019 elections, we need to interpret the signs of the present times. The political climate could remind one of the event that led to the Civil War. But there is something that is very worrisome. I just read today the publication of Norik. That is a Muslim organization, accusing Christians of some pastors of preaching in the church that they must never vote for a Muslim. And some Muslims feel too that in the mosque they are telling the Muslims that they must never vote for a Christian. But I want to say here that there is a lot that Muslims and Christians can do together. Even those of us in dialogue, some people have told us that maybe we are wasting our time. But I want to tell you that the dialogue that has been taking place in this country, to some extent, has really helped and saved situations. The reason is very simple. One of the aims of the terrorists is to cause religious revolution. And a country that goes through a religious war, you can never predict the outcome. Just a little story here which we read from my book. I was in France. Before I traveled, the Muslim youth had visited me because once in a while I go to the National Mosque to talk to the Muslim youth. And they said, Father, I would like you to give us a talk in the mosque. I said, what is the title? He said, Religious Re-Education. I said, why religious re-education? He said, because of Christians and Muslims have been brainwashed and we need to be radicalized. So while I was in France, I got a phone call that the Muslim youths were going to burn down the church in Cairo. So I called the president of the Muslim youths. I said, well, this is what I'm hearing. He said, Father, wallahi, it's not true. He ran there. Meanwhile, this is what happened. A Muslim carried a Catholic woman, and the woman didn't have change to give to the Okada boy, who was a Muslim. This Okada boy now said, I will wait for you, go and look for change. And he was right there inside the church to look for change. The police came and soldiers, and then one of the police women started fighting the Okada boy to the extent that they put him in the water, and they started shouting, they have made me to break my fast. And it was a Muslim boy who called a reverend sister that please will tell father that people should not come out. They will kill somebody. It has nothing to do with religion. Just Okada. It was a problem between Okada riders and the military thing. So at the end of the day, a Muslim boy who was in the mosque nearby, the bullet struck him in the sacred sanctuary. So when I came, they said the soldiers have been spending money. At the end of the day, we have to take that boy, call Cardinal Mayeko. We took that boy to St. Mary's Hospital where he was treated. What if that Muslim president did not run there? Before you know it, the papers will carry it that there was a religious war. So instead of us to start fighting, let us really think on what we can do together, Christians and Muslims, so that we can avoid this violence and insecurity everywhere. I want to conclude. As we prepare for the 2019 elections, we need to pray and call for national repentance. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray, and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. 2 Chronicles 7:14. And we need to pray and beg the government to stop this insecurity in this society. The government can do it. Empower the youth. Because the failure of government is really affecting our society. Even if the government, for example, can negotiate with the terrorists, why can't the government break the book the same people they are negotiating with? To at least to permanently put to a stop these insecurity challenges. And of course, today you see that a lot of people are even camouflaging as headsmen to wreak havoc on different places. Some kidnappers were arrested in Auchi, and they were dressed like Fulani. At the end of the day, we are not Fulani headsmen. They came from Kogi State. We are in trouble, but God will save us. The challenge of security does cause for discernment and docility to the voice of God. Deuteronomy 28:65. The judiciary will have enough work to do in 2019. When those who fail elections will take their cases to court. But is the judiciary strong enough to give a ruling and the executive and the legislative will obey? That's a big question. How many judgments have the Supreme Court given and the executive or the legislature did not obey? Will the legal luminaries be courageous enough to dispense justice like incorruptible judges? Still remember that book we used to read in secondary school, Incorruptible Judge. I think every lawyer must have read that book. So what can the judiciary do in a situation when some rulers in the executive do not respect the rules and judgment of the court? Can the lawyers still dispense justice when even the judges are threatened and harassed by the political warriors? We pray that God may assist Nigerians to do the needful and restore Nigeria to the status of an ideal and civilized nation. Nothing is difficult for a willing heart. If the lawyers have the will to be courageous and incorruptible, to dispense justice to the oppressed in Nigeria, you can, because you are called and chosen. And as Catholic lawyers, you have extra responsibility not to stain your name by any means. And as a Catholic lawyer, remember that of the 12 apostles, only one died a natural death, John the Beloved. So if you want truth, be ready to die. And if you don't want to die, what are you living for? Thank you.